So I have just been to collect the BMW M2 from BMW Park Lane. This car is a head turner. Might be something to do with the colour of it, might be the fact that the design is absolutely mental, but the looks, it's hilarious. I wish I had my dash cams in this from my car, because I'd just be putting in the footage of everyone looking. It's so funny. It's so funny. So, how many miles have I done? Bear with me. 21 miles. It's just been sat in London traffic. It's been raining quite a lot. So, pulling out of some junctions and stuff, it's a little bit tail happy. I can understand why there is a drift analyzer in the settings. It wants to go. But it's been a really nice, comfy, smooth ride. It is quite, when I say comfy, it's quite a harsh ride. It's still only done 512 miles, so it's still all bedding in and everything. Interesting to compare this with M4, which obviously I've had for quite a while. Courtesy of Park Lane, whilst my car had some work done and bits were delayed. To see how that amazing S58 engine is in such a big thing of the M4 and put into this tiny little body. I say tiny little body, it's really, it is small, but it's not. It's a really odd one. Like, it's big for an M2, but it's still quite a small car. I was just in a car park, and in amongst everything else, because everyone is going for SUVs or MPVs and whatever other acronyms they're called these days. Right, I'll test it with some road noise on the M25, which is notoriously known for horrendous noises. It's got long gears, I will tell you that. When it's just left in comfort, it's long. Okay, this is cool. Ready? And they can't even put a 140 on my display. I've got a 116. But they can give this indicators. Oh my god, that's mad! Oh, it's the little things. What do you think?
I like it. I do like it.
The looks growing on you.
Don't know yet. The side profile is beautiful.
The side is lovely. I love looking in the wing mirrors and seeing how wide those rear arches are. That's a cool look. I do like that.
I like the front. I don't mind the back.
The front has grown on me, although it looks like very cubey Lego. Oh god, that's the adjusting cruise control.
The front and the back don't talk. They're like two different cars.
Yeah.
The front's super plain and the back is just really aggressive.
I still can't get over the rear lights. They just look like such an afterthought to me. Like, it doesn't blend in as well as the F87 did. That is just a really aggressive, good looking, flowing rear. This would be better if the lights were like the F-Series, in my opinion, because they just look stuck on as an afterthought, and I don't like it. But I would say when you're in it, that's not a concern, but we do have the rear end of the car on the dash, which is really funny, which it doesn't look too bad there. Why does it look better in the picture than it does in real life on the dash? The S58 in this feels so different as to how they have it in the M4. The M4 feels a bit more like grown up and like a cruiser, but you've got the speed and the performance there, and it obviously handles really nice. This has that true like M feel, like it's very tail happy. Still got that kind of younger, like Asbo type feel, in the sense of being the fun one.
Yeah.
Whereas the M3 and 4 are more grown up, this is like the fun one. Performance is absolutely disgusting. Like, disgusting. You literally give it a little bit of throttle and you look down and like...
I like to see this race against the G80
they've tried to make very DCT, which I kind of like, but at the same time it's like, do you really need to? Very much reminds me of the Roma with having very long stretched out gears when it's set to auto, so very cruisery feel.
It just goes into sixth whenever it can.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go into the highest gear.
Eco.
8 at 20 miles an hour, just go into it.
Obviously your M1 and M2 settings, put it in manual only, which is a cool feature. I have custom set M1 to be sport plus, I think, with engine, suspension, I'm trying to think what else is in settings. I have to go through them. Yeah, chassis.
Traction.
No, traction's set that you pick your like percentage type thing is weird. But it basically has like a adjustable level, which is quite cool. None of them have ever done that. You either have traction on, half on, or off, whereas this allows you to sort of pick between, I think it's like a 1 and 8 scale. So you can have it kind of on, you can have it kind of off, you can have it completely off. Obviously M2 is...
A lot of cars have started doing that though, since Mercedes done it with the AMG GTR.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems to be, it's a good thing to have.
With the little toggle.
Yeah, you can work it out. I think the toggle's a better idea.
Yeah, because
this you'd have to go into 58 settings on the touch screen to try and find it. Well, that time you're probably in
that's
the gravel
a problem.
On a track.
Yes. Everyone keeps saying there are shortcuts, but obviously when you've got Apple CarPlay taking up your whole screen, it's kind of hard to get into anything else. Obviously the microphone in the bottom corner, they want everything to be voice controlled, but you have to understand what the voice control is to get to it, because it's like when I've been trialing it with like heated seats, it gives you Google listings for something like
tries to take you
or
heated seats.
Yeah, it's very odd. I'm not about all this sound stuff. I like to have it on my screen where I can just quickly select it.
You like buttons?
I do like buttons.
It has to.
I love the fact that they've kept a fast forward and a skip, like a back.
Yeah.
I don't know why Waze has just made that noise, because we're on the same road that it's told us to be on.
Oh, it's just had a bit of a meltdown.
Oh, I lost signal. So now it's like,
Oh, it's just frozen.
brilliant. Yeah, so you've got heated windscreen, front and back, hazards, volume button, front and back, like skip and back. Which I like the fact they've kept them, but my climate doesn't have buttons. It's literally at the bottom of the touchscreen climate menu. And again, you have to rely on a touchscreen.
You have to take your eyes off the road.
That is a nightmare. But yeah, like the amount of time my eyes have to be off the road is mental. But yeah, your eyes are just so over there. It's not good. Like, just make it like I want my little. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But like, this is just CarPlay. The whole thing's CarPlay. I just want a quick select to like the M
Police
menu.
reported ahead.
I just want a quick select to my like M menu so I can just get to the key stuff I'm going to need. But otherwise it drives really nice. So the G87 is just about to go back to BMW Park Lane. I really didn't want to like it because of obviously the styling stuff. It really just, in comparison to the F series, just didn't look like wow. Like the M2 and M2 Comp are just, I don't know, they're kind of the ultimate goal for many a petrol head in the UK, and I guess internationally, but in the UK there's a real following that is kind of on many of people's dream list or to-do list. And then this came out and the looks were very controversial, and it was kind of like but driving it's got a true M feel. It does, in that it wants to be a little rebel. It wants to be quick. It wants to throw the rear end out. It wants to have fun. And the S58 is just something else. And in comparison to the G80 and G82, so the big brothers, the M3 and the M4, this just feels so different. they're very grown up, very like refined, and you know, you have the performance and whatever, but they're very grown up. This is a different beast, and it just performs like a wild animal, really. The ZF acting very much like a DCT. Not sure if I'm a fan. It's kind of like they're very different gearboxes, so why try and replicate that? But at the same time, it's an M car and they haven't got a DCT box in it, so they've made the ZF try and sort of replicate that feel. It is what it is, but it is nice. It gets it's a little bit aggressive at times, but it on a long motorway cruise, very, very nice. The seats are incredibly comfortable. We've done quite a few miles over the 4 days I've had this. It's been A roads, B roads, little country lanes, motorways, and it's been very comfortable. There is a lot of adjustments for like the lumbar support and the side bolsters. You can change it all. They have the driver's side on this one has the memory seats, so that's quite handy. Seats in the back, although it doesn't look like there is very much room, not too bad. We did have a full grown adult sat in the back for about a 45-minute journey. They didn't complain, didn't bang their head on the roof, wasn't like 2 knees up on your chest, so not too bad. Going back to the looks on this thing, it's been really funny because it's not a very popular car, or people have seen them kind of spec'd all in black or red. No one's really seen the launch Zandvoort Blue in person. It was really funny, especially driving around sort of the little villages and towns of Festival of Speed. The amount of people who actually were like, do you know what? It's not that bad in person. I actually quite like it. And seeing one in the flesh, it's okay. It's a real head turner. It's a real head turner. I mean, I've had, what, a speed yellow M4. I had the Sao Paulo M4. And although they got looks, I don't think any or either of them really got as many looks as this has done, which is mind-blowing because I didn't think people would look. I didn't think people would care, but it's got a lot of attention, and like I say, people's opinions once they've seen it in person are kind of like, do you know what, actually it's not that bad. It is a modern car, therefore it does have petrol particulate filter or OPF, PPF, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's got different, but it's got a particulate filter, which absolutely kills the sound, which is very annoying because obviously my B58 is 2017, so I don't have any of the particulate filters, and it makes such a good sound that it's really disappointing that the S58 doesn't haven't driven an F-Series M2. I have been out in one or two. And obviously there is an increase in weight with this model in comparison to the F-Series. Just how cars are going, really. They're getting bigger and heavier, and say I haven't driven an F-Series, so I can't really compare the two. But in comparison to G82, it definitely feels more nimble. It's really grown on me. It has grown on me. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed this car, and it is comfy. It's quick. That engine is just something else. The S58, I will forever be a fangirl. It's just amazing. If I had the money and it was no real option, yeah, I'd have one just as a little daily to chuck around. I think it's great. Cars you can stare at, so funny. But massive thank you once again to BMW Park Lane for allowing me to have this for over the Festival of Speed weekend. It's been a real pleasure, and it looks incredible in Zandvoort Blue. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah. So at night these light up, which is quite cool. I just didn't get a chance to film them at night. I kind of was a bit light in the days. Didn't really understand it at night. Kind of looks quite cool.